Ciao class! Today I'm going to be telling you about my epic journey throughout the beautiful region known as Lombardia. Lombardia is famous for skiing and snowboarding on the Alps that it shares with Italy's neighbor Switzerland. It is also very famous for the city of Milan, which is a huge tourist attraction. There are several gorgeous lakes within this region as well, so there is never a dull moment on this trip. First, I stayed in the capital, Milan. Milan was one of the most beautiful places that I had ever been to. First, I visited the Castello Sforzesco. It was number one on my to-do list. The castle has many attractions such as ancient ruins, old prisons, museums that cover different eras of Italian history, and a park. It is also home to the last incomplete statue by Michelangelo, the Pieta Rondinini. After visiting the Castello, I went to meet up with a girl that I met on Tinder at the Rizzo Come a Casa. We shared the seafood platter and it was one of the best things I had ever eaten. I think it made my date sick though because she went to the bathroom and never returned. As I was walking back to my hotel, I stopped by the Duomo di Milano, which is a overwhelmingly big Gothic cathedral that took about 6 centuries to complete. It's one of the most impressive things that I had ever seen. I took an elevator all the way to the top of the cathedral, and up there was 135 gargoyles. It was quite the sight. When I returned to my hotel, which was the Grand Visconti Palace, I asked the concierge what else was popular in the area, and she pointed me towards the world-renowned opera house, the Teatro alla Scala, in English known as the La Scala. This theater has been around since 1778 and has hosted a lot of Italy's greatest opera artists and the world's finest singers, such as myself, but that's a story for another time. My next stop was Lake Como. I took a train from Milan to Como, which is the largest town on the lake. Spent a little bit of time at the Volta Temple, which displays exhibits related to the scientist Alessandro Volta, who was born in Como in the mid-1700s. Bit of a hometown hero, if you say so. After that, I took a cable railway up to Brunate, also known as the Balcony of the Alps, where I hiked around for a little bit and got plenty of great views of the lake. Later on, I went to my hotel, which was the Grand Hotel Tremezzo. The hotel was in a gorgeous location right on the lake. It had 5 different restaurants and bars and an amazing spa. Next, I headed to the city of Monza. The sole reason I went there was to watch the famous Formula One Italian Grand Prix. How could I miss out on something like this while I was in Italy? Before I headed to the famous track, I figured I would see what else the city had to offer. First, I visited the Duomo di Monza, which was another extremely detailed and beautiful Gothic cathedral. Seeing the amount of work that went into this cathedral was truly remarkable. After I finished going through the cathedral, I walked into the museum directly behind it and looked at all the amazing religious artifacts and relics that had been stored there, such as the crown of Theodelinda, who was the queen of the region at one point. After that, I treated myself to a fine dining experience at Darma's, which is one of Monza's best restaurants. I ate way too much though and spent way too much money. Finally, I set foot in the historical Autodromo to watch the Grand Prix. I normally am not a fan of racing, but that was one of the most exhilarating races that I had ever seen, and it was truly an unforgettable experience.